Christmas this week. All right, let's remind folks of the poll question, see where it's gone to. It's gone more positive. Well, just having Sterling on the set, it just kind of radiated out, and people were like, yeah, it was a good season. So, huzzah, you made the playoffs, or humbug, lost in the playoffs. You tell us how you're going to remember this season. Back with Mike Stoll, Kevin Simon, Will Overstreet, the VFLs here. Josh Heupel has won 30 games in his last 3 years. He's won an Orange Bowl, a Citrus Bowl, and he made a college football playoff. One of only 3 SEC teams to do that this year. But fans want titles, and they saw an Ohio State roster last night that has been built to win titles. It's better than UT's roster. So, Mike, when it comes to this program, a little Christmas theme here.
Yeah.
When it comes to Tennessee's program, are all their troubles miles away, or are they still somewhat Fra-Gil-E? Where are you going? Troubles miles away? Fra-Gil-E.
So, again, looking at where the programs come, they're miles away from where they were. But they're Fra-Gil-E as far as, and that's French, right?
It's Italian.
Is it? Oh,
yeah,
is that what it was?
That's Italian.
My bad. So, they're making progress. They've made tons of strides. But now, all of a sudden, it's like, okay, we go into the SEC, we're playing well, we've won some games, we've had 2 10-win seasons, but all of a sudden it's like, okay, that's what it takes to win a national title. Now, we've played Georgia, it's a rival, it's a little bit difficult, but they've come miles as far as where they were, but there's still miles to go. They've got a long journey ahead of them to get to a championship.
Is this program fragile ground, Will Overstreet, or is it stable, safe? You feel good about it? What we just ran through.
It's stable and safe from where we're hitting in the terms of can you win 9 games, 8-9 games consistently kind of thing. But if you're saying, is this one player away, yeah, we're going to get to make a run and be able to beat 3 teams in a playoff series, this team's not built for that right now. Like, they don't have what they need to be able to get through that. So it's fragility in that sense of if you're setting the bar as championships or bust, we're not built for that right now. Setting the bar from, are you a good team that's competitive in a lot of games in the SEC, and can you get to maybe an SEC championship game with the right things? Maybe, but you're not going to do it consistently, and you're not going to be able to go deep in a playoff where you have to face 3 or 4 of these types of teams and beat them.
How many teams are there right now that could do that? I think you got Ohio State, Oregon, maybe Notre Dame.
I think
Georgia, if they were healthy.
I think
Georgia,
you still put Georgia up there healthy.
Texas,
maybe
maybe.
Texas.
If they put it together.
It's not a lot of teams, so it's not a big group.
Right.
But at the same time, if that's the bar,
right,
you're saying you're nowhere close to that being at that bar.
Kevin, is this program on stable, safe ground? 30 wins in 3. You're averaging 10 wins a year for the last 3 years. Orange, Citrus, playoff. Is it on stable ground, or could this thing tumble? Is it Fra-Gil-E?
Yeah, so it's absolutely on stable ground. But there's an influx that's about to happen. The COVID seniors and guys that were recruited on Pruitt's watch, those guys are about to all be gone, and now it's going to be all on you. We've seen them hit on guys on the defensive line with Rodney Garner. Guys like James Pierce, guys like Josh Joseph, guys like Ty Weatherby, guys like Tyree West from that 2021 class. It's a line of scrimmage league. Mm-hmm. Mike Stoll, who are the guys on the other side of the line of scrimmage that we've hit on offensively? Since Heupel's been here,
none.
We haven't hit on a guy. So you hope that you got one with David Sanders, but there's gonna be an infusion of new talent that comes, and we're gonna see if these guys can elevate their play to rise to the occasion. I think the conversation has to be you got to build around Nico, and to do that at this point, you're probably gonna have to hit the portal hard. They haven't shown that they got a stomach or an appetite to do that. So we'll see what happens next year, but we could take a drop depending on how things unfold in the next 12 months.
We did a question late in the year on the show. Is there anything to give you faith that this team, this coaching staff, can find, can identify and sign top-flight offensive linemen, top-flight receivers? And we answered no. Nope. Every other spot on the field they've kind of been good at. But if you're going to protect the quarterback, those are the 2 areas you need to hit on more than any other. And the best receivers they've had were Pruitt guys. The best offensive linemen they got were Pruitt guys. Yeah. So I do think it is – I would go with Fra-Gil-E. I think it's on stable ground in terms of 10 wins a year. I don't think they'll win 10 every year, but I think they can win 8, 9 a year and then have the 10, 11 wins. But I think it could all go south here if fans are determined. If it's year 4 and you're looking at this and you're saying, we got to make a change because he's not going to win a title. If that stuff grows, then I think you could blow the program up. I would say keep him going because Jim Harbaugh was that guy who couldn't win the big one until he did. Michigan, he had to take a pay cut to stay at Michigan because he kept losing to Ohio State, kept winning 8, 9 games a year, not getting it done. Then he breaks through. Philip Fulmer, you were there at the beginning. It took him forever to get there and break through. So I just think if Tennessee's going to be patient, I think you're fine and you're on stable ground if you'll be patient and see if this guy can develop. But if you're going to be, nope, we have to be like Ohio State, we're going to fire a coach, 10 wins isn't good enough here, get rid of him, then I think you're going to be right back to where you were. That's my take. So, Fra-Gil-E, depending on the reaction to these types of seasons. All right. When we come back, if Tennessee wants to get back to the playoff next year, which position groups have to improve? Who has to go on the nice list and get off the naughty list? Come on back.